All right, number 19 says in the xy plane, the graph of 2x squared minus 6x plus 2y squared plus 2y equals 45, and they tell us it's a circle. Okay, then as soon as I get that information, if you're looking at your formula sheet, okay, we have this standard form for the formula for a circle that equals the radius squared. Okay, so as long as you can rewrite this equation so that it is in this form, then you can look at what it equals and say, all right, take the square root, and that is the radius. The problem with this one is that this equation obviously is not in this form yet. So in order to do that, we need to eventually factor in and get these rewritten. So I'm just going to space these out a little bit more and separate the x's and the y's. Okay, we want this, what I want to do is insert numbers here so that I am able to reduce this down to the form that they want. That method is called completing the square, which is part of the chapter on quadratics in your book. So if you need to refresh on how to do that or learn that technique, it's called completing the square. You can go to your Khan Academy SAT practice too to check that out also if you need some background help. So when you're completing the square, the number that you need to insert is you take b divided by 2 and then square it. Okay. Before I even get to that though, I see a 2 and a 6 here and a 2 and a 2. I can make my life easier and factor out a 2 first. Okay. And then I'm going to do the negative 3 divided by 2 and then square it. And that's going to tell me which number needs to go here. So you're going to do negative 3 divided by 2 squared. Okay, so the number that I need to add here is 2.25. And then the same thing here, this is a 1. So you're going to do 1 divided by 2 and then square it. Okay, that's called completing the square. Okay. Then now that what I can do is factor this. Okay, and again, like the reason I know that right away is from completing the square. That's what it'll simplify to. And then part of completing the square is whatever you added to insert on this side, you need to do the same on this side. So here I did a 2 times 2.25 and a 2 times 0.25. Okay, that helps maintain that this is equal. You can't just add numbers into an equation. If you want to be equal, you need to do it on both sides. And then that's going to simplify to x plus 1.5 squared plus y plus 0.5 squared. This is going to simplify to 50 over 2. Okay, and then now I have accomplished my goal of putting it into this form. So then now I can say that this equals r squared. So 25 equals r squared. To solve for r, you'll take the square root of both sides. So r is plus or minus 5. And then since we're talking about radius, right, as like a measurement, it needs to be the positive.